Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show. This podcast is short, fun, and jam-packed with good ideas that you can start using right away.
Welcome to another episode. I'm your co-host, Ellen, along with my co-host,
the comeback guy.
The comeback guy. I don't even know. Do I ask?
Well,
comeback from what?
I just think that with our show, we're not always efficient. We're going to have bad days. We're going to have bad weeks. And some are going to have bad months. But you can't let that carry on. Even if it's just a bad half of a day. You got to let all right. I wasted this morning and move on, not compound it by doing more bad things. So I've been thinking a lot about, I love a good comeback story. And, I'm always rooting for the underdog. And I like someone that's been knocked down, but they get back up and they just fight their way to the top. It excites me. And as it relates to what we talk about, I just think that sometimes for efficiency, a good example of how this could go both ways is when you're down, you've got to be willing to ask for help. And for anything, sometimes that's all you're missing is someone just to help you get started, to get you over the finish line or in the middle to just keep pushing you. So when you're down and you're out, almost out, maybe it's just someone to pull you up and get you going. And I think that's true of a lot of things.
I think I absolutely. We lose our mojo every once in a while. And I know from experience, because I'm kind of going through it, identifying that you have lost your mojo is pretty humbling to go, wow, you know what? I'm not in the best space. I'm not in, if I was a book, this would be a very kind of low chapter. But then if you take it to the book kind of thinking, there's always a new chapter. And, just accepting, okay, this chapter of my life right now, not my favorite, but what can I do to get to the next chapter and make that chapter just amazing?
I love that. And that analogy continues where you're just going to turn the page.
You're going to turn the page?
I'm just turning the page. That was then. This is now. Uh-huh. And sometimes it is about how we talk about things. Well, I failed. No, that was just not a great chapter. But the next chapter is going to be better.
And you didn't fail. You just learned what didn't work.
Exactly. And so how
also,
you say it is what I'm...
Yeah. And also, one of my favorite things is anytime things don't work right, I didn't lose anything. I just got a whole bunch of data points. They're data points about what doesn't work. But then in the future, I'm going to make sure I don't do those things.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're up for, it's a mixed metaphors, but you're going to do, it's like your second act or your third act. Right? That's kind of, but that mindset of when you think of it that way, it's exciting. It's kind of just the way you label it gives it either a positive connotation or a negative connotation. And then I would say sometimes if we're down, and this is true of so many, we're trying to get it all back at once. And that's a problem because sometimes it took you a while to get down. It might take you a while to get back. So you just chip away at it and you don't look at how far other people are or where they are because that will just make it worse. It's almost like defeatism. Now I'm here and they're up there. Who cares? It doesn't matter. You got to run your own race. And I feel like if you compete against others, you're always going to lose. But if you just say, I just need to be better next time at me, meaning you're competing with yourself. There's a track coach, one of his students came in last place and her time was 19 seconds. And he said, that's your best record. You came in last, but you had a personal best. Next time, all you need is shave off 1/10 of a second and you win again. And I think for us, it's celebrating these little wins as we inch our way back to where we were and where we want to be.
Absolutely. I'm just sitting here taking it all in because, we don't have to do it all in one fell swoop. And this isn't anything we haven't heard before, but it's good to hear again because when we're in the middle of losing mojo or not feeling great, it's good to hear that we can come back up. You can be the comeback kid. So
and look to others in the same boat that did it too, and how they did it, but also just for the inspiration that it can be done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So pick yourself up. Be better tomorrow than you are today by one little teeny bit. Be back with us again next week for another episode.